Welcome back to Science to Sleep By. Tonight, as the world grows quiet and the noise of day slowly fades away, we are traveling farther than most human minds ever imagined. Beyond the warmth of Earth, beyond the orbit of Mars, beyond the storms of Jupiter, and the icy rings of Saturn, there exists a dark and distant frontier where sunlight becomes weak and silence stretches for billions of miles. This is the Kuiper Belt, a frozen region at the edge of our solar system, filled with ancient worlds, drifting ice mountains, and mysterious objects that have remained untouched since the birth of sun itself. Scientists believe this remote wilderness may hold the secrets of how our planetary system formed over 4.5 billion years ago. Yet at the same time, it is also one of the coldest, loneliest, and most terrifying places humanity has ever discovered. Tonight, we will slowly drift into this frozen abyss together. We will explore the terrifying reality of the Kuiper Belt, the strange objects hidden within it, the dangers it presents, and the astonishing discoveries scientists continue to make. So, dim the lights, relax your thoughts, and allow yourself to float gently into the dark outer reaches of the solar system. Far beyond the orbit of Neptune lies a region so enormous and so distant that even sunlight struggles to survive there. This mysterious area, known as Kuiper Belt, stretches across millions of miles and contains countless frozen objects left over from the earliest days of the solar system. Scientists often describe it as a gigantic cosmic graveyard of ancient material, a place where time itself appears frozen. Temperatures here can plunk below minus 220 degrees Celsius, cold enough to freeze nearly every known gas into solid ice. In this endless darkness, sunlight is so weak that noon on Pluto feels dimmer than twilight on Earth. For centuries, humanity had no idea this region ever even existed. It remained hidden until the 20th century when astronomers began noticing strange movements in the outer solar system that hinted at the presence of distant icy worlds. In 1992, scientists officially confirmed the first Kuiper Belt object beyond Pluto, forever changing our understanding of space. Since then, thousands of these frozen bodies have been discovered, though experts believe millions more remain hidden in the darkness. Some are tiny chunks of ice and rock, while others are massive dwarf planets large enough to have atmospheres, mountains, and possibly underground oceans. Pluto, once considered the ninth planet, is now understood to be one of the largest known members of this enormous belt. Yet Pluto is only the beginning. Objects such as Eros, Makemake, and Huamia drift slightly through this frozen realm, each carrying clues about the birth of the solar system. Scientists believe the Kuiper Belt formed from leftover debris that never become planets during the early stages of planetary formation. In many ways, it is like a giant time capsule preserving ancient material from billions of years ago. But despite its scientific importance, the Kuiper Belt is also deeply unsettling. The farther one travels into this region, the more isolated and dangerous the environment becomes. Communication with Earth would take hours due to vast distances involved. A spacecraft traveling at incredible speed could still require nearly a decade to arrive there. Even NASA's New Horizons probe, one of the fastest spacecraft ever launched, took more than 9 years to reach Pluto. Imagine drifting through a place where the sun appears only a bright star, where darkness dominates nearly every direction, and where temperatures are so cold that metal itself can become brittle and fragile. Scientists often say that if a human somehow stood within the Kuiper Belt without protection, death would occur almost instantly. Yet, despite these terrifying conditions, researchers remain obsessed with studying this distant frontier because it may contain answers to some of humanity's greatest cosmic questions. The terrifying reality of Kuiper Belt becomes more fascinating when scientists examine the strange and chaotic objects hidden within it. Unlike the orderly orbits of many inner planets, the Kuiper Belt is filled with unpredictable bodies moving through space in complex gravitational dance controlled mainly by Neptune. Some objects travel in smooth circular paths while others follow elongated or tilted objects that can take hundreds or even thousands of years to complete. One of the strangest discoveries is the possibility that an enormous hidden world, often called Planet 9, may exist somewhere far beyond Pluto. Scientists notice unusual patterns in the orbit of distant Kuiper Belt objects and begin suspecting that a massive unseen planet could be pulling them through gravity. Though Planet 9 has not yet been confirmed, many astronomers continue searching the outer darkness for evidence of its existence. If such a planet exists, it could be several times more massive than Earth and located so far away that our orbit around the Sun might take 10,000 years. The idea that a giant hidden planet could silently drifting through the outer solar system without humanity ever directly seeing it is both exciting and deeply unsettling. But the dangers of the Kuiper Belt are not limited to mystery alone. Many scientists believe this region may occasionally send deadly comets toward the inner solar system as gravitational interactions disturb objects within the belt. Some icy bodies are thrown inward toward the sun. Over long periods of time, these comets can cross Earth's orbit, potentially causing catastrophic impacts. Researchers believe similar impacts may have influenced the history of life on Earth millions of years ago. In this way, the Kuiper Belt is not simply a distant frozen wasteland, it may also be connected to extinction events and planetary destruction. Another terrifying aspect is the absolute silence of the region. On Earth, humans are surrounded by wind, oceans, animals, and constant sound. In Kuiper Belt, there is only vacuum and darkness. No atmosphere carries noise. No sunrise brings warmth. A human explorer would experience endless emptiness stretching in every direction. Physiologists studying long term space travel often warn that isolation itself could become one of the greatest dangers for future explorers. Sending years traveling toward a cold and silent region where the sun barely shines could place enormous stress on human mind. Scientists also worry about the physical dangers of microscopic debris. Even tiny particles moving at high speeds can destroy spacecraft systems upon impact. A grain sized fragment colliding with a ship in deep space could release energy similar to an explosive bullet. Because the Kuiper Belt contained countless icy objects and debris fields, navigation through this region would require extraordinary precision. Despite these dangers, scientists continue exploring because every new discovery reveals how little humanity truly understands about its own cosmic neighborhood. Perhaps the most haunting aspect of Kuiper Belt is what it teaches us about humanity's place in the universe. The further scientists study this frozen frontier, the more they realize how small and fragile human civilization truly is. Earth, with all its cities, history, wars, dreams, and achievements, exists only as a tiny speck orbiting an ordinary star. Beyond Neptune lies a realm so enormous that even our greatest technology struggles to comprehend it. Distances in the Kuiper Belt are almost impossible for human brain to fully imagine. Light itself traveling at nearly 300,000 kilometers per second takes hours to cross these outer regions. A spacecraft launched today could require decades to fully explore only a fraction of this territory. The sheer scale of Kuiper Belt reminds scientists that the solar system is far larger and stranger than humanity once believed. Yet, this distant region may also hold clues to the origins of water and life on Earth. Some researchers suspect that icy objects from the outer solar system delivered water, molecules, and organic compounds to the young Earth billions of years ago. If true, then part of story of human existence may have begun within these frozen outer realms. The same dark region that appears terrifying and lifeless may also have contributed to the conditions that allowed life to emerge on our planet. NASA's New Horizons mission transformed our understanding of Kuiper Belt when it flew past Pluto in 2012 and later explored another object known as Arrokoth. Scientists were astonished to discover surprisingly complex landscapes, frozen nitrogen glaciers, towering mountain made of water ice, and evidence of ancient geological activity. Arrokoth itself appeared like two icy bodies gently fused together, preserving a nearly untouched relic from the birth of solar system. These discoveries reveal that the Kuiper belt is not dead and empty at once imagined. Instead, it is a dynamic and ancient archive of cosmic history. But even with these discoveries, humanity has barely begun exploring this distant frontier. Thousands of worlds remain unseen, hidden in darkness, beyond the reach of modern telescopes. Some scientists believe there may be objects larger than Pluto still waiting to be discovered. Others wonder whether unknown forms of chemistry or underground oceans could exist beneath layers of frozen ice. The terrifying truth is that the Kuiper Belt constantly reminds humanity of how much remains unknown. Every answer discovered by scientists seems to create even larger questions, and perhaps that is what makes this region so unsettling. This is not merely cold or distant, it represents the edge of human understanding itself, a reminder that beyond the warmth of Earth lies an ancient cosmic wilderness filled with mysteries humanity may never completely solve. And now, as our journey through the frozen darkness of Kuiper Belt slowly comes to an end, allow your thoughts to drift gently back toward the warmth of Earth. Somewhere beyond the distant stars, beyond Neptune's icy orbit, billions of ancient worlds continue circling silently in the darkness, untouched by time and hidden from human eyes. Scientists will continue searching those remote regions for answers about the birth of planets, the origin of life, and the mysteries that still remain buried within the outer solar system. Somewhere out there, ancient objects from the birth of solar system still circle the sun untouched for billions of years. And while scientists continue searching for answers in that cold and mysterious frontier, tonight you can simply rest beneath the same universe that created them all. Thanks for listening to Science to Sleep By. Sleep peacefully and let the stars carry you into quiet dreams. Good night.